Good afternoon, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you, Roberto. Thank you, Marta. And I love very much this country, so it's very nice to share a little bit about our vision and about our case of Curo Hotel from Gramado in the south of Brazil with you. And also today we're going to talk a little bit about the past, the present, and maybe about the future for us to have an idea about what's going on in this very nice field, which is this wellness travel. So I'd like, first of all, to introduce these very important persons for me, which is Ruth and José Maria. José Maria, he was my grandfather, here from a city very close from us. He was from Graciosa, Aldeia de Graciosa, in Oliveira das Meias. And then, with his just 12 years old, very early, he took a ship and went to Brazil. And what motivated him at that moment probably was to try to find another point of view of life, try to see new alternatives, new solutions. And I'd like to ask to you, who here in this audience have ever traveled, please raise your hand, travel seeking health? Okay, some of you. And what about travel for seeking well-being, to be better, to feel good with your own lives? Okay, so this is very much what we are talking about. Travel and try to see other points of view, other expectations, other solutions that creative minds maybe can have and purpose for us. So just for you to have an idea, when you're talking about the medical field in Brazil, our first medical schools was founded in 1808 with Dom João VI. And after that, we have a very good quality of health concept with mineralogy, botany, and so. But by the years, we have some important points here that makes a very big difference in our school, in our medical school. And one of them is when mineralogy, botany, and zoology went out from the medical school, and after that, the art of prescription also went out of the medical school. And of course, with this great solution of Fleming, discovering the penicillin, it was very important to save lives, but at the same time, all the focus came with the pharmaceutical approach. And the lifestyle was not the imperative approach. And what happens is that some kind of the thinking like, do not treat the sick person, but the sickness was the opposite of what we really believe, which is good for our lives. And my father here, he was one of these persons that say, I really want to treat health. I really want the wellness approach. And we started to do it 42 years ago with a proper method that is focused absolutely in health. So here, just for you to have an idea of our work, let's see if I can put this short film for you. Okay, so this is just a little bit of about our work, and we really believe in this potential of changing, of the transformative travel. So what we really want to deliver, it's a unique and unforgettable experience. And this is totally possible. And this is just for us to have an idea on how we see the medicine and how we see the possibilities of treating somebody. This would be the old way of treating people when we are just connected to the numbers and when we are connected to only the evidence-based medicine. Of course, this is very much important, but it's also very important makes this person unique and how is the best treatment for this person. How can I deliver what this person with a special kind of culture, a special kind of medical history, a special kind of family history can really receive this kind of treatment. So this is what we do. And just now, let's take a look in this last few minutes what is going on and what are the possibilities that we have and that probably we have to approach when we are talking about the wellness and health tourism. We have a lot of great solutions helped by the technology in order to really touch the medicine in all this field. Of course, that we can have access to all different kinds of information now, much better than you used some time ago because of the IA. And also, when we are talking about surgeries, we have great solutions. When we are talking about the virtual reality and cognitive training, and which can help a person with dementia, we use all of this, and it's have great impact. Also, with distant consultations, with wearables, different kind of wearables, and some of those we are using right now. Of course, that when we are talking the future of this field, we have some innovations that we can use right now, some of them in 5 years, 10, 15, and also 100 years more. But it's always good when we can take a look about all those things. This would be something very special to treat each person. It's a unique pharmacy that can help people not to receive what they really need. This is not a real image. It's a virtual and fantastic one. But just for us to imagine the future of the farm's future. But this one, it's real, it's true, it's already happened. And you can have great quality of food in a very special place and protecting the environment. Now we can also have a lot of technology that impact very much in the nutrition. For example, you can choose the gender of the chicken. I'm not saying if it is good or bad. I'm just saying that this is happening. Just like this one, I have the opportunity to see the engineer lab in Silicon Valley, the first one that has this kind of technology to do the meat without killing the animal. We have to see what is going to be the impact. We still don't know. We have to study much more. But just for have this idea, we can control much better the health of our clients, of customers, with these kinds of equipment. We having a lot of information of health here. Also, we can control and help to improve the sleep, and also to teach the people how it's a good way for them to start and to sleep and continue during the whole night. This one, it's a very nice, we use there to teach people, are they really focused? Their mind are focused or not focused? So the spiders start to walk when we get the purpose-focused mind focus. It's very nice. This one helps us to meditate in the correct way. It's Israeli equipment, very interesting also. This one we also use there. It's a robot that can help to see and find people with some disabilities. And when they fall down, there is this directly message to the doctors, and we can monitor people with some difficulties. And we're going to be really touched also in the surgery field and with all kinds of bots, the very, very micro and nanobots, just like this one, or like this one. So this maybe we're going to feel the difference in a couple of years, but we're all going to be very much touched. Just as here during this day, we've heard a couple of times the genetic of the client, and this is the medical genetic. We have a lot of information going on here. We work very much, for example, with the microbiome, just like this one. We can understand what is really better for us to deliver to our clients in terms of food, because of tolerance, because of microbiome. And okay, we're going to have lots of improvement in the sense, a lot of them, just like 3D print and so on, just for us to have an idea, okay? And if we're going to talk about maybe 100 years more, we can have this kind of conversation. Not only the small territories about the tourism, the medical tourism, but how can we adapt to other places, okay? Of course, that is going to be maybe, we're going to take some time. But yes, we're going to go in this direction. So technology, yes, we have, and a lot. It's touching us very much right now. But now is the time of the human being. Now, what are we going to do with all this great news that we have that can really impact our minds and that can really impact our lives? Our mind is in the very important focus, and we have really to remember this all the time. That's why this is one of the reasons that we want to really expand the barrier of Curotel walls, and we want to deliver more well-being, mental well-being to the public schools in Brazil. So we have 3,004 mil, 3,000, more than 3,000 children doing this project every day of mental well-being, a lot using meditation in Brazil. It's something really very nice. If you want to understand more, please just let me know after that. It's a non-profit volunteer work. And that's what I really want to share with you. We cannot despair the humanity since we are ourselves human beings, okay? So this is the very point for us. This is Curotel. You were very welcome to understand more and to share. I would love to share with you a little bit more about our work. And I'd like to thank you so much for your attention. Thank you, Mary Cologis, as well. Thank you, my dear.
Nice job. All right, that was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, we've been looking at the signage up here all day long. We see purpose, right? We see building better tourism. Most people don't even have their own sense of purpose, right? So when we talk about purpose for our industry, that's a bold statement. When we talk about change, when we talk about building better, building back better, when we talk about transformation, that's a challenging topic. As I came in and met Marielle, I met her kids who are on a transformative trip through Europe right now. And I'm reminded that building back better, having more purpose, isn't really about us. It's about them, those next generations. So when we talk about transformation, we're gonna play a little game here. I'd like you to raise your hands if you feel that you'd like to change the world, change society. Yeah? Does that feel good? All right, so how many of you would like to change your destination, change your organization? Okay.
That's good.
All right, now, how many of you are willing to change yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Liars. Liars. I appreciate the intention, but change is hard. As the Transformational Travel Council is working with Joe Pine on the Transformation Economy Collaborative and Carlos Pachanko with Futurismo Azores Adventures, we discovered that transformation is really hard. We have New Year's resolutions. We try to quit smoking. We try to work out more. We try to do these things, and often we fail, right? So then, how do we get into a position where we actually have the opportunity to succeed? Well, that requires a different approach, fresh perspectives, new ideals, right? And often this means that we have to go inward. We have to look within ourselves to create the positive change that we want to see in the world. Now, when we look at the practice of travel and tourism, which that's what it is, just like golfing is a practice, right? Meditation is a practice. We can actually get better at travel and tourism. We can practice travel and tourism, become more mindful, become more present, and drive more results, more outcomes, not just for you, but the communities and places that you visit and the lives that you touch. So at the Transformational Travel Council, we understand that really existence is relational, right? And if existence is relational, tourism is relational as well. And aren't experiences relational? It's really about reciprocity, a give and take, right? How do we as individuals either engage travel, and how do we design and host travel? So in a lot of ways, when we look at this process of change that we go in when we go on a journey that has the potential to be transformative, we're going through a series of evolutions. We become more enlightened. So this is how travel changes us. It starts with the idea of just questioning where I am. Who am I? Why do I want to go on this adventure? Not just what and where do I want to go, but why? How? How can I do it better? Right? And then you get into how do I plan? How do I prepare for a journey? Right? And this is where someone that guides transformations, those in the tourism industry that understand what this transformation economy is, they can guide them through these transformations, help them plan and prepare, not just their luggage, right? But also emotionally, spiritually, intellectually, to engage travel with more meaning, more purpose. And then it starts to become something that you can, have an opportunity to say, how am I going to go differently? What is the impact that I can have, both internally and externally? And then if you know Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, it's really about how I return, right? That newfound wisdom. When you go through a process of meaning making and then action taking. And that's where the transformation is. I was recently, just a few months ago, on the Camino de Santiago. I went on the way. I was being called to this adventure. I've heard of the Camino. I'm not a particular religious person, but I like the idea of putting one foot in front of the other and just thinking about where I'm at in life, asking some big questions. And the key is, with this, you have to move more than your feet when you travel. You have to move your mind, and you have to move your heart to have anything but a superficial or an artificial encounter. Okay, so in this example, Walking Mentorship is a Portuguese company. They're a member of the Transformational Travel Council, and they're a shining star example of what it means to guide transformations. They understood that it's a process, that they started engaging with me well before I got on the trip. And then as we went through the entire process in the walk, there was opportunities to reflect, to contemplate, to go within. There was challenges, there was prompts, there was journaling, there was sharing. So it was an opportunity for me to, instead of taking 4 months away from my family to walk the Camino, I did it in 7 days. And my version, because it was guided, driving towards aspirations and outcomes, was super impactful for me. Okay, so that Walking Mentorship, that journey, that 150K instead of the 700K or whatever it is, left me with an opportunity to transform. I had clarity, I had confidence, I was connected, and I was ready to open up to my next chapter in life. Now, could I have done that on my own? Absolutely. Would I have had the same sort of outcomes? Probably not. And that is the opportunity that we have in tourism to guide transformations that drive value that is unseen before in our space. So when we look at, kind of dive into what does transformation look like, right? First, when we talk about like human connection, how do we evolve? How do we become more enlightened, better versions of ourselves? Well, first, it's that personal evolution, right? Today, we're disconnected, we're disoriented, we're lost, right? We're lacking purpose and meaning. It's time to forge a different relationship with travel where we start to understand that it's an opportunity to step out, and we're always going to be more open to new ideas and new perspectives when we travel, and activate more of an inner journey. You're participating from the inside out. So nothing in my mind is more beautiful than the opportunity to meet someone along the road, right? It's those encounters. For me, that's why we travel. And we have that beautiful exchange of ideas. When we get to see the world through another person's eyes, right? That's why we travel. But being present enough, being engaged enough, requires you to go through a process of othering, understand your own perception, your own bias, right? What is your place in the world? How have you been socialized, right? So when you guide transformations, these are the things that you want to be cultivating through a process, right? We call it a diagnosis. What is your identity? What privilege do you have? What sort of cultural sensitivities and equities are in place in these places that you go? And how can I adapt and evolve to meet that with presence, with reverence? So as we go through this process of transformation, as we all know, eventually we start to look and understand that our behavior is changing. We're becoming better versions of ourselves. And what does a better version of yourself do? They make better choices. You're more connected to your values, right? You have different relationships with yourself, with others, with nature, the people and places that you visit, right? And so that's the transformation that happens, and that's the potential that tourism has moving forward to guide transformations, not to just impact the individual, but a better version of that individual makes better choices. And the better choices have that ripple effect that affect us all. So when we talk about purpose, right, when we talk about building back better, tourism's in a beautiful position to affect positive change, one person at a time. Thank you.
Wow. Wonderful. Thank you very much to Marielle and also to Jake for this brilliant presentation. So inspiring. It's actually here we can actually feel how life-changing tourism can be, how relevant it can be in people's lives. So we have 5 minutes for a conversation. It's going to be short, but I think it's going to be very highly valuable. We have two very special people that I think are tapping into what we had presented this morning about transformation, so the end point. So above the experience, how to create an impact which is highly desired by each and every one of us in order to improve. And it was funny to see your experience with Caminho de Santiago. I got to know that the study says, the interviews, that 80% of the people that walk in the Caminho of Santiago, they do it not for religious reasons. Mm-hmm. So they do it actually for, to getting to know themselves, for thinking, for having a better understanding of life. What they're searching for is very, very interesting, how we have more and more. And it's growing in such a high rate. And it's also very interesting to see that the Portuguese route is the second now most searched of paths to Santiago after the French. So we have something very relevant here in our hands, no? That can actually change people's life. But in that line of talking about, changing and improving, often in this area transformational approach, I believe that there's a requirement for scientific support, studies or evidences, in one hand, and specialized skills as well. So the people who are, able then to run these programs and support others. How challenging is this to achieve this balance? Is it business with this kind of focus inherently more difficult in nature? I will start with you, Jake.
Yeah. So the foundational framework that I just shared at the Transformational Travel Council, that's rooted in art and wisdom and science, right? And so it was really important as we embarked on this journey of really transforming tourism, that we steeped it in real rigor, that it was based on science, that we could create practices and principles and techniques and tools that would hold up, because travel is sort of inherently transformational. But if we're going to unlock the potential, we really needed to root it in something that we could prove, that we could measure, right? And that's something that we're doing in the Transformation Economy Collaborative now, defining, leading, and measuring the impact of the transformation economy.
Good. And to Mariella, your concept and your business is already inherently about it's scientific, but also I see the offering is quite broad. So it goes from listening to music, doing walks, the power of the water. So it seems that you're already bringing in the power of whatever makes it really effective, the change and the health in people's lives. So how has it been, the kind of search? What are people searching for? Throughout the years, what kind of evolution have you seen? What is now in 2024 the biggest concerns of what are really people now today searching and asking you to provide in Curahotel?
Great. I think that people are really seeking for the essence of life, the meaning and meaningful experiences. So taking a time to be alone or taking a time of retreat moment, that we can really focus and the choices and what are we doing with our lives. I think this is the very important thing. And also those pillars of the wellness medicine, they are very much connected to bring the person to the present moment. So the water, the sound, the exercise, bringing the attention to the body once more. So this has a very huge impact in the whole health, especially in the mental health. I think this is the most important and thing that we are, working now.
Do you think we can apply these principles that are proven, that actually improve people's health and well-being? We can, to certain degrees, to apply into the rest of the tourism and to make it really a way of qualifying the offering, from the restaurants, from the hotels, even if they don't have the kind of offering you have, which is very focused on, because you're really a practitioner, professional in that way. But can we extend all of those principles at a certain degree to the rest of the tourism?
I'm sure so. Yes, definitely. Because I think it is also very much, it's pleasurable to be in the present. And so people are realizing this when they have an experience at the restaurant or to being together with a person in another place, in a hotel, everything that makes those people to experience the life, it's very pleasurable, and it applies to all the sectors of the tourism in my point of view. Yeah.
Fantastic. And Jake, just to finish, can you provide some notable examples of transformational tourism? I think that would be also very, very interesting for the audience. And if, in your opinion, does it have the potential to bring significant positive change to the world? So can it have a higher impact even?
Yeah, absolutely. It can, and there are some really great examples. Joaquin Mentorship, who led my Camino trip, is definitely a shining star. There are destinations and communities around the world that understand that the change that we're all seeking comes not only from the inside out, but from the ground up, right? So community-based tourism is really starting to emerge. And for us, we've worked with a few different destinations, not just on integrating transformative experiences, but transforming the destination and the community itself, right? And taking those stakeholders, the destination DMO leaders, on a transformative journey that really starts to break down the walls within them and then between each other, right? So they can start to collaborate, they can unify, they understand that they're more alike than they are different. They have similar aspirations. They have similar goals. And once you can do that, you can sort of build that resonance within that community, and then you can start to introduce these experiences, welcome hosts and visitors, and have a different attitude. be more welcoming, right? And that creates the conditions for transformation. So when you have that opportunity of visitor and host and those moments, and those are authentic and they're real, right? And both sides are transforming. You know, that does have that ripple effect, right? But it starts in the community-based level, right? And it goes into across the bioregion and then builds from there.
Just by curiosity, who's attending your courses, all your amazing classes and
Thank you.
training?
Yeah. No, we've got, gosh, I think we've got a few hundred alumni from around the world that have taken our transformational travel signature course on how to create the conditions and design for transformations.
But who are they? From tourist destinations?
Yeah, from hotels, from
hotels?
DMOs, from the retreats, life coaches, travel agents, guides, you name it. It's across the entire category, and it's typically those that have been doing it for a while that have a savviness about it. They understand the potential and power of travel. Those are the ones that are deepening their knowledge, bringing the beginner's mind to the coursework, and typically they seem pretty happy.
Fantastic. I wish to thank you both for coming to Portugal and sharing your knowledge and your experience to this audience. Please check out the Cura Hotel in Gramado, Brazil, an amazing project, world-winning of many prizes when it comes to health and well-being offering, so a worldwide reference, actually. And the Transformational Tourism Council as well. Check their pages. They have a beautiful mission. Everything that's written there really feels that it kind of points where tourism should go. Thank you very much for your presence. Thank you all.
Thank you. Okay.